Hey guys, good evening everyone. Welcome back to my channel. This is Miss JD once again for a weekend episode of our daily stock market insights. I know I've been gone for quite some time, but I am back. So hopefully from this point forward, I will be able to record more consistently. So feel free to drop a comment. Let me know what your requests are. So if you are to backtrack my old videos, I do review stocks in the Philippine market, sometimes in the US market. So just drop a comment. I'll catch up. I'll make sure to be more consistent from this point forward. So let's get started. Um, let's first talk about the index. How does the index look like right now? Okay, so in actually, I the last time I did create a video was back in June, and so far the entire time the market has been very uh, what do you call that? It was on a consistent decline. There were days that we were flat, doing sideways, but overall the trajectory was really on a decline. And right now, what's nice is that for the past few weeks, we are starting to recover. By the way, I'm using a Bollinger Band. As you can see here, you have three lines here. That's a Bollinger Band. I use RSI, the volume, and mainly the candlesticks when I analyze my charts. And just to set your expectation, I focus mostly on the technical side using the indicators I am more comfortable in using. Okay, so at the moment, what I can say is that the index is starting to recover. Although one thing I can say here is that there isn't much volume as of yet. So I think a lot of our investors are still on the defensive mode. Okay, but slowly we have already crossed the MA20 line in our Bollinger Band. And what we are waiting for is, more foreign buying to happen, and more, at least we have, we are starting to gain the trust of our foreign investors. At this point, I would have to say, just looking at the volume, it's still flat. We're just in the average range. Okay, so I'm thinking that we will expect some uh, volatility in how the index will be performing in the coming days, but I see support at the 6,042 area where you have your MA20 line. All right, so that's something we will be anticipating in the coming days. Now, if you are to also look at it following the trend line over here, so we are slowly creating higher highs and higher lows. We are following this channel over here. So hopefully as it goes back in the 6042 level, we will again create higher highs. So that's something to monitor in the coming days. Okay, so let us check the highly traded stocks the past week. So I clicked all stocks here and sorted it. Click trade, so that way we will see the uh, stocks that were highly traded. Okay, so the first on our list is ICT. So, I've been monitoring this stock previously back in, June. It was here, and looks like the market has given you guys a chance. This is an opportunity because for the longest time, this stock has been on a consistent climb, even during the height of the pandemic. Okay, after, yes, it was also affected, but it's just, a short period of time. And throughout the pandemic days, this stock has been on a consistent climb. And now it has given you a chance. So if you are into this for long term, I would have to say this is a good opportunity to start accumulating. Okay, so just accumulate. You don't have to put everything in one transaction. So let's say if you want to secure a position, so anywhere from 165 to 177, add some volume there, just secure your position. And if it goes lower around 165, just add some more. But at the moment, I'm plotting 165.60 as the support because if you look to the left, there used to be a resistance right at the same area back in July. So chances are it will revisit this. At the same time, notice how the RSI is performing around this range. At first, it was at the over, well, this one is extended, but just observe how the RSI will perform in the coming days. So far, it is stabilizing at the 13.9 area. Volume is also starting to pick up in some of the days over here. So you see the average starting to move up, and there are some days over here that's way higher than the average volume. So this simply means that our investors are already looking into accumulating in this stock. Ali, Ali is still revisiting your support levels. Right now, still using the Bollinger Band, I would have to plot it this way. Let's first create the trend line, I mean the channel. So it looks like it is respecting this channel over here. Okay, so I hope you can see that. Let's try to change the color so you can see it properly. So this at the moment is trying to retest your MA20 line. So the settings I have for my Bollinger Band is just the default settings, and the center line over here is the MA20 line. So try to observe how this stock will be performing in the coming days, but looking at this, it's right at the MA20 line. Chances are it will most likely. So the moment it bounces right over there, slight overshoot can happen. Just follow this, put your trend line over here, and if it respects the line, then chances are it will move up again, create another set of high, this time around higher high. So let's see, there's also a scheduled dividend. X date is last 3rd of November. So payment date is November 18. So for those people who are still interested to get in just for the dividend, I am sorry to say that you are no longer qualified because the concept of dividend or yeah participating in the cash dividend release is that on the 3rd of November. Okay, so backtrack a bit. You must be able to enter buy some shares before the 3rd of November. Because if you are to enter on the 3rd of November, that means you are already excluded. That's the reason why it says X date. Any transaction on the 3rd of November will no longer be part of it. That is why some people who just merely wants to take advantage of the dividend payout, they enter before, and then the 3rd, that's the time they get out. Okay, so let's see. Sometimes on the X date, that is when the stock goes down. Let's see what happened back here. So this was the 3rd. Okay, others continued to exit right at this area. So while waiting, um, prices price was just soaring higher, and then when the X date came, then some people exited their position. But if you are just looking into entering in this stock for long-term investing, we're still at a very cheap level. If you're to look at it on a weekly time frame, you are right over here. So we are at a very strong support area. Actually, if you're to look at it, if I create a line over here on a weekly chart, you have established a support at the 2252 area, and see how your RSI behaved at that point. See, it's starting to move up already. Previously at the same price, it was here at the oversold area, and then when the price revisited the same level, the RSI is starting to move a little higher. That means the buying sentiment is starting to pick up. AC. Let's check AC. AC looks like it will still continue on a weekly chart. It is going to still retest this support area over here, 581. So just be extra careful. So if you are to go back to the daily charts to see that it kind of broke the MA20 line. It is on the verge of breaking that. So just don't rush, because chances are you can still get this at a cheaper level, somewhere around 581. We just do not know how long it takes to reach that area. But this is Ayala, so if you are um, you're already okay with the price between 581 to 600, then that's your call. But I see a possibility that it could still touch this 581, given that, it actually broke this line over here. So previously it was respecting this area, and then it broke that. So chances are it'll continue. There will be a continuation of that trend line or direction. BDO. BDO, I think this is a profit-taking level at the moment. So this is the resistance level. So it is an area, guys. Take note that when I plot this line over here, it doesn't exactly mean that it's 129.17. All right. So it is an area. It could be 130 or 131. But definitely one thing to observe here is that um, try to check if the market continues to break that, because it doesn't mean that if it is a resistance, it cannot be broken anymore, but it can if the buying sentiment is really, really strong. So chances are it'll continue and break that. So try this. This is currently the channel this stock is respecting. Okay, so it could go higher, even higher. So volume is still there. Okay, see that while it's moving up, the volume is still there. It's not overbought yet. So for those people who just want to lock in some gains, and let's say there's a sign, there are signs of slowing down, then you can lock in gains so that you can re-enter when it pulls back. But I would have to say there is a big chance that it could continue even higher. But guys, for those people who are considering this for short-term trading, I would have to say that this area over here for short-term trades, this is a profit-taking level. So who are those who would be more interested in entering at this point? Long-term investors. So at this level, for long-term investors, they wouldn't really mind, because some of them might have already added some volume when it was way lower, or they're doing cost averaging. So they wouldn't mind. See that? Because at one point price reached here, and most of we spent a lot of time doing sideways, and slowly it was moving up. So long-term investors might have already added a lot of shares right around here. So, but then again, if you're doing this for short-term trades, I would have to say not the perfect setup at this point. Some would still be interested if it breaks officially out of the resistance, then they could do momentum trade. But there are a lot of things to also consider if you want to do momentum trade. Okay, Converge. Converge is still very uh, not much. Okay, not much of an action at this point. This is still on the slow side. Okay, see this volume is still very low overall. There's selling pressure still happening. You're already at the support area. So just be very careful, because if this continues with another red, chances are it might continue to go down. But one thing to observe here is that, well, volume is not there yet. So I would have to say there's no buying sentiment still, because one thing we would want to see happen here is that there will be a nice green candlestick and then nice good volume, because if that is the scenario, then chances are buying sentiment is already there. But right now it's not yet. The only sign I see is this RSI starting to move up, but hey, there's no volume. So there is still a possibility of this line breaking to the downside. Okay, so just take note, at the moment I'm plotting it as a support, because who knows, by next week By tomorrow we could have a nice green and and a good volume. Then that's another day to discuss. See, it even went lower than its IPO days. Okay, BPI. Let's check out BPI. BPI is currently at the resistance area on a weekly chart. Let's go to the daily chart over here. Okay, so this is a profit-taking level if you're asking me. If you will ask me if this is an area, good area to do short-term trades, I would have to say no because the risk-reward ratio there is not the ideal. You're very near a resistance, so chances are you will experience some signs of slowing down over here. Um, yeah. So long-term investors, your call. Okay, so I hope you have already accumulated from 2020 onto this day, so you have some nice average. But let's see how far are we from its resistance in the past. Okay, so at one point it reached, so we're very near, um, 114, 127. So chances are there will be some profit-taking days very, very soon for this stock. The candlestick last week was a bit of a bearish. Okay, SCC. SCC on a weekly chart, it has slowed down. Since 2020, this stock has consistently gone higher and higher. So good for those people who have accumulated during the time when it was very, very cheap at this point. So this was also this is also giving us some good dividend yield. If you are to check that, right, this stock has given us 150 plus 350, that's 5 pesos. And if you are to get the yield for that, so that's 5 over 34.15. So that's more than 10%, right? Because 10% of 34 is 3.4. And you got 5 over here, so around 15, 16, I don't know. Just do the math. Okay, so this stock is good if you are into dividend investing, but let's see, because this has broken down the trend line, see, the MA20 line for the past weeks, okay, on a weekly chart, it has been respecting the MA20 as the support area. But hey, this stock is giving you a chance to get in at a lower price. So let's first observe if the price will go back to as low as this one first, 30. Yeah, because you have your resistance here. Then another line would be around 26.50. There you go. And try to also read the news, understand what may have caused the decline. Maybe it's just already so stretched. Okay, technicals, I would have to say on a technical side of things, this has already given you some signs when it did like this. Okay, price was moving higher and then RSI was moving downwards. That means it's already too stretched on the upside. Um, i- it's about time that people really lock in some gains for those who are trading this. A lot of investors or traders must have locked in their profit, and then that's the reason it started to decline, and probably they will just re-enter somewhere at a cheaper level. So 30 and 26 would be an area to watch out for. Looking at, okay, looking at the fundamentals so far, good, see that? Semirara Mining and Power Q3 profit source 153%. So in terms of profitability of the company, it is still there. It is very profitable. It is just that technical wise, the stock chart has reached a resistance level. So 30 and 26 an area to watch out for. Okay, so next stock, SMPH. SMPH, let's see. Okay, still sitting at a possible support area for SMPH. We're at a support here at the MA20 line. Okay, see that? So if you wish to start accumulating, still overall, I think this is going to go sideways. Not much volume over here, so it might still respect this 32. It even could reach as low as 30 over here, 30, 31. But definitely chances are it'll go sideways first because the volume is not there. But nice to see some foreign buying that happened last Friday. Last for today would be Globe. Globe has given us nice foreign buying, flat volume, but let's see. I think overall, guys, look at Globe as a stock that you should have for long term, definitely. I would have to say, um, on my personal take is, Gcash is part of Globe right now. I'm a consistent user personally, user of Gcash. So apart from the telecommunication side, they have expanded their niche into this platform, and adoption rate is really high. A lot of people are already using it. It's so easy to cash in, cash out in Gcash, so it's gonna really go big. And the price right now for Globe is, it has given you an opportunity when the price level dropped over here, and it's now stabilizing, starting to move up again. So take advantage of this level between 2242 to 2300. That is a very good area to start accumulating. Plus, of course, this stock also gives out consistent dividend every quarter, I believe. Yes, quarterly, this gives out dividend. So around 27. So let us say we do an average. If you get the price at the 2-3 level, let us see how much is the dividend yield. 27, let's say an average times 4, that's 108 divided by 2,300. Excuse me, that's a 4.6 dividend yield per year. Okay, so who knows, in the future it could go bigger, it could grow in terms of, dividend yield. Okay, so far that is, yeah. There is an SRO, one entitlement right for every 13 common shares. Okay, there. Just take note of those. Read through it, and for now, these were the stocks I have reviewed for you today, from ICT Alley down to Globe. So feel free to drop a comment, and please support my channel. Hit the subscribe so we can slowly grow our small community here. Okay, thank you, and bye bye for now.